Nearly 3 decades after Tom Cruise first accepted the role of IMF agent Ethan Hunt, Mission Impossible, the final reckoning arrives as a thunderous send-off to one of cinema's most consistently thrilling franchises. Picking up where Dead Reckoning left off, this eighth and final installment pits Hunt and his team against the Entity, a sentient AI system capable of global devastation. The stakes are higher than ever, but amid the explosive action and world-ending tension, one storyline steals the show: the redemption arc of Palm Clementif's Paris. What began as a one-note villain has evolved into one of Mission Impossible's most layered and unforgettable characters, all while audiences weren't even looking. The birth of a cold-blooded killer. Paris makes her dramatic entrance in Dead Reckoning as a fierce enforcer of the Entity's will, operating under the direction of the mysterious and sadistic Gabriel. First appearing in Rome, she terrorizes Ethan and newcomer Grace, Haley Atwell, in a destructive high-speed chase that leaves government agents dead in her wake. Her dead-eyed silence and merciless methods immediately place her among the franchise's most terrifying antagonists. In Venice, her cruelty deepens. She assists Gabriel in his mission to emotionally cripple Ethan by targeting those closest to him. In a narrow alley brawl, Paris distracts Ethan long enough for Gabriel to murder Ilsa Faust, a devastating loss that fans are still reeling from. At this point, Paris is little more than a ruthless killer. But Mission Impossible was never content with surface-level characters, and Paris was just getting started. The moment that changes everything. After a brutal hand-to-hand fight in the wake of Ilsa's death, Ethan spares Paris's life. She stares up at him in disbelief as he drops his weapon instead of finishing her off. In a franchise built on daring stunts and tense showdowns, this quiet decision becomes a turning point. For Paris, it plants the first seed of doubt, and perhaps the first moment of self-worth she's experienced in years. Gabriel sees it coming. The Entity, calculating every possible future, predicts that Paris will turn on them. And in a self-fulfilling act of paranoia, Gabriel ensures that outcome by stabbing Paris himself. She survives, but not without scars, physical and emotional. And just like that, a killer becomes a rogue, joining the team on her terms. The final reckoning reintroduces Paris not as a vengeful wild card, but as a reluctant ally. She's no soft-hearted convert, but something more believable, a trained killer who doesn't trust easily and isn't quite sure she belongs. Yet her skills are undeniable. She rescues Ethan and Grace from certain death, and her brutal, no-nonsense approach gives the team a tactical edge they sorely need. Rather than simply blending into the background of an already crowded ensemble, Paris emerges as one of the film's most engaging characters. Her dry wit, brutal honesty, and explosive fighting skills offer a refreshing contrast to the team's usual dynamic. Watching her interact with Benji, Luther, and Degas is both hilarious and deeply human. She doesn't try to be someone she's not. She just fights for the right side this time. A redemption earned, not given. Paris's true moment of redemption doesn't come through vengeance, but through compassion. During the climactic third act, a stray bullet wounds Benji, leaving him in critical condition. With no medic in sight and the clock ticking, it's Paris who steps in. Guided by Benji over a headset, she fumbles her way through a crude emergency surgery. "I'm better at killing people than saving them," she mutters. It's one of the film's most raw and intimate moments, stripping away the action hero veneer and exposing a woman wrestling with the weight of her past. Saving Benji is more than just an act of goodwill, it's her atonement for standing by while Ilsa died. When Benji survives, Paris doesn't smile or bask in praise. She just gets back to work. The franchise's most unexpected triumph. By the end of the final reckoning, Paris isn't just a former assassin, she's a full-fledged member of the IMF family. Her arc from stone-cold killer to beloved teammate is one of the franchise's most well-executed character evolutions, precisely because it was never telegraphed. While audiences were focused on Ethan's high-flying stunts and the global threat of the Entity, Paris was quietly becoming the heart of the story. In a saga defined by masks, double crosses, and shifting allegiances, Paris's transformation stands out not for its theatrics, but for its authenticity. She wasn't forced into a redemption arc. She chose it slowly, painfully, and on her own terms. And in doing so, she became one of Mission Impossible's greatest character.